All right. So we are good to go. We're recording now. So Tom Dembski with Hygeia breast pumps. We're going to be talking about the EnDeare breast pump as our main focus for today. Get to the next slide here. All right, so we're going to breeze through this pretty quickly. Like I said, the main goal of this is to make sure that you're comfortable with the Hygeia EnDeare. I'm going to talk a little bit about who Hygeia is. Probably going to be new to a lot of you. We're going to go through the Hygeia breast pump advantage, kind of what makes our products a little unique and different. Recent product improvements. Now it's all new to you, so these new things were brought to our attention by our other participants that have been using our products for years, and so we just improve our products and make them better based on suggestions. We're going to talk about our main focus here, which is our multi-user EnDeare breast pump, and then our universal deluxe personal accessory set. That's our fancy word for a kit. We've got this ACA pumps. If we got time, we'll talk briefly about that, but that's again not our focus. Then we'll open up the mics and we'll talk about our customer service, troubleshooting, cleaning, and get into the questions and answers. All right. So it looks like we've got 15 people on the call, so that's great. Go to the next slide. Okay, so Hygeia, we've been around since 2008, so we're getting ready to celebrate our 10 years as a company, so that's pretty exciting. Our corporate office is in Carlsbad. My role with the company is the National WIC Director for Hygeia, so I cover all WICs nationally, and I physically don't live in California. I am here in the Midwest in St. Louis, Missouri. So that's where I'm at. All of our pumps are designed with a piston-driven technology, and I will get into that a little bit later to talk about that in the live presentation here when I show you the breast pump. We're contracted with over 29 state WIC programs right now. So just in the course of a few years, our products are catching on very quickly, and more states are bringing us on board. Other thing about our company is we've always followed the WHO code compliant, and that's just the World Health Organization, which is the same code of ethics that the lactation consultants abide by. So, all right, we'll cruise on from there. And again, just as a reminder, as people are jumping on board here, looks like we're up to about 19 folks. If you have any questions, there's a little text box down here. Since I've got everybody muted, just type me in a question, or if there's something that I need to elaborate on, just let me know. And then at the end of the presentation, I'll open up the mics and we can ask questions that way. Okay, next slide. So here's the heart of the presentation of, Hygeia breast pump advantage. So all of our pumps, not only the one that I'm showing you today, which is our EnDeare, but all of our pumps have the same level of efficiencies as far as the pumping goes. So the suction range is from 40 to 270 millimeters of negative pressure. That's plus or minus 8%. And the reason we have that is because with different altitudes, you're going to get different levels of performance. And that's not just our pump, that's any pump. So here in the Midwest, we're going to get 270 millimeters negative pressure. Somewhere higher on the altitudes, you won't get those higher pressures because of the negative pressures. So All of our pumps are interchangeable and are compatible with competitors' breast pump kits. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll do a little show and tell, mainly with the Hygeia and the Medela parts and pieces. So just want to kind of talk about that. And once I turn the camera on and face it towards the pump, you'll see that they work very easily together. All right. So using the personal accessory set allows moms to have that higher range. That just means even though that you can use our personal accessory set on the Lactinas, you're going to get really good pressures just like you would with the Medela kit. But with ours, you should notice a little bit higher range of suction. That doesn't mean you have to turn it all the way up, but you'll be able to probably go a little bit higher than you're used to. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. We have customizable multi-phase controls, and that just means that our independent suction and strength controls are independent of each other, and that just allows moms to really just kind of hone in on what pressures and cycle speeds are going to work best for them at any time during the pumping. We'll talk about our closed system and how that protects against milk getting contaminated, and how it'll stay out of the motor, so there's never any issues there. So we'll go through all that. Any questions on this slide, just type me a note and I'll watch for that. I'm going to move on. Product improvements. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because, like I said, Hygeia to most of you is going to be new anyway, so we'll just kind of roll on through this. So one PAS, which is our personal accessory set, does it all. So when you get ready to order, you're going to order this part number, and it's going to have all the components that work with all the Hygeia pumps. Hygeia Q is one of our pumps. The Enjoy is one of our pumps. The EnDeare, which is the main pump we're going to talk about today. And then it's also going to work on the Lactina. All right. So we'll talk about that. So that makes it nice for stocking and inventory purposes. You can have one kit that really does everything. All right. We now include 2 medium flanges and 2 large flanges, and they're detachable. Okay. I'll show you that, kind of what I mean by that, when we get into the live presentation versus trying to explain it now without pictures. The EnDeares, all of our pumps have serial numbers engraved or etched on the bottom. So that's just kind of a nice security thing to keep track of your pumps. The EnDeare and the Enjoy have a new micro mesh screen that keeps these the pest resistant screens are 100 times smaller than our previous models. And that just means that if you've ever had it to mess with any pumps getting that infestation, this will help minimize that greatly. It's not 100% because it still has to have airflow to keep the motor cool, but these screens are very, very small, and they do keep things out that shouldn't be crawling in there. And then our hard cases. I'll show you our hard cases for our EnDeare. These have lifetime warranties on them. So if a clip breaks, we'll send you a new carry case for that. We know that's been an issue, and nobody really likes the size and shape of those carrying cases. But when I show you our carry case, it's very simple, easy to clean, and it was Arizona WIC is the one that actually helped us design it to meet their specifications. The EnDeare, EnHandle is our manual pump. I'm not going to get into that one too much today, but we do have a manual pump. Save that for another day. All right, so here's all the components that I'm going to be showing you live here. We'll walk you through each and every one of these parts and pieces. Here's a list of them. Bonnie can share this PowerPoint presentation with you. So I'm not going to just read through every one of them, but because I'm going to talk to you as we open up the bag and kind of show you the contents. All right, so here's the main product. Here's what we're talking about today. This is the pump here. Okay, that's our EnDeare. It's a multi-user. Works very similar to that of the Lactina, which you're all hopefully used to. It's a research-based with the latest research. Independent suction and cycle speed. So just like on your Lactinas, you've got your dial on the pump. I have a little trouble with my pointer here. The dial on the pump that controls the speed, and then the dial on the piston there is going to control the suction strength. All right. So let's go to the next one. Here's our carry cases. This is the one we're going to be showing you today. Actually, I've got both, but this is the one that comes with the EnDeare. All right, so I'm going to grab the pump, put it in front of me here, turn the camera on, and then we'll be able to talk through the ins and outs of the pump. Camera on. People can see me. Okay, good to know. All right. So welcome. Hopefully everybody can see me. If not, type me a quick note. You don't have to look at me. I'm going to spare you the agony. We're going to point the camera down. We're going to show you the pump. There it is. There we are. Get a little bit bigger picture here. Okay, so this is the EnDeare. Get my pointer out. So this is the on and off switch. When it's on, it'll light up. Obviously, if you light up and the arm's not moving, you got a problem. But this is the on and off switch. Okay. This is our speed control. The smaller the more narrow the line, the slower the pump is. And then this will speed it up. All right. This piece here is a little rubber piece, just like on your Lactina. The piston's going to go right inside of here. I'll show you how to do that a little later. These two things here are wings. Adjust my camera. Those are the wings, and that's what holds our flanges in place. Where's my flange? This kind of holds that. So if a mom is pumping into, she's got her milk in here and she doesn't want it to tip over, she can put that right there, like that. Okay. Those can fold in. Okay. This hole is where we're going to put the piston, just like you do on the Lactina. And then this little slot right here is where the piston's going into. This port right here is for a vehicle lighter adapter. Hygeia sells one vehicle lighter adapter, so if the mom needs that, she doesn't have the electric, access. She wants to pump in her car or with a vehicle lighter adapter, she can use that. On the back here, These are these grooves here, these slots. These are for ventilation. That's what keeps our motor cool. And then inside of there, which you won't be able to see real well, that is our micro mesh. So even though it looks like it's a straight, pretty big gap, there's a fine mesh stainless steel screen behind there. Very good. This is where you wrap your cord. So you wrap your cord around this way when you get ready to store it, just like on your Lactinas. And then you've also got your, quick start instructions right onto the pump. And I know it says Peter Hubbard up there. He's the gentleman that sets these webinars up, but Peter's not on the call. It's me. All right, one more thing to show on the bottom is our serial numbers, 7-digit serial numbers right here, which is laser inscribed on the bottom. We've got more ventilation here, kind of the safety coding here, and then just another serial number, same serial number, just in a sticker form on the bottom. Okay. So that is our EnDeare. Pretty similar, right? All right. Looks like we may have a question. It says, sorry, my eyes are a little bad. It said, will the Lactina car chargers work on this pump? The question is, I'm not sure. They're both 12-volt systems. If they read exactly the same, actually, here is a Lactina. They both say 12 volts on it. To risk damage, you may want to just make sure that they match identically with all the codes and specifications on the pumps and on the adapters. Okay. Got another question from Shelley asking if there's a quick instructions for the EnDeare available in Spanish. And actually, Bonnie was on an email today for approving our instructions, which we are redoing on this EnDeare. It will be both in English and Spanish. It will come with every pump, and it's a 24 by 17 piece of paper that has colored pictures and words. More pictures than words, because that's always better when you're trying to explain to folks. And then we will have that on English on one side and Spanish on the other. And we also will have a 11 by 17 document that we can email out to you for reference. So if you want to print one, if somebody lost it or something like that, you can print one off and use it that way. So yes, those are available. So you're right, that is awesome. So yeah, so that is coming here in the very near future. Could possibly be in with your first order. So all right. So this is our pump. And now I'm going to talk about our personal accessory set. So this is our personal accessory set. Hold it up here. It's the Universal Deluxe. And the number down here is the 20-0075. Okay. So based on this one kit, we'll work with all of our pumps and the Lactina. There's a lot of extra parts and pieces in here. That's due to some of the protocols from the contract that we're on too. They wanted certain extra parts and pieces. So it's going to look like a lot, but when you're showing this to a mom and opening this up for the first time, there's a very easy way to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so I've got this opened. We've got our standard flange. This is a 27 millimeter opening here. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger than what you're traditionally used to, which is a 24. Ours is going to start a little bit bigger because when we came to the market almost 10 years ago, we did a survey and found that moms needed, as a standard, they needed something a little bit bigger versus something that was a little bit smaller. So we start with that. We've got wide bottles here, so they stand on by themselves very easily. Set those aside. If you hear thunder in the background, that's not my stomach. That is a storm rolling through, so hopefully we'll stay connected. If it cuts out for whatever reason, you know why. All right. So I'm going to get out just the parts and pieces that are absolutely necessary the first time for moms to start pumping. That's 2 bottles, 2 flanges, all that good stuff. We've got our tubing here, which is held together by a little clear rubber band. We've got our piston. And that's it. Those are the parts and pieces that we need, okay, to kind of show moms how to get started. Now look at our bag here. We've still got lots of goodies in here that we're going to talk about. But just so we don't overwhelm the moms, we're just going to start with those simple pieces. Take our pump. Since these are already screwed together, I'm just going to show you. You know, they screw apart like that. We've got a valve here that is a duckbill valve. It's a one-piece valve. It opens and closes like this with every cycle of the pump. Opens, it drops the milk into the bottle. Closes, creates suction to the breast. Opens again, drops the milk, just like that. Okay. You put this in the bottom. Kind of hard to see with my fat fingers, but just kind of push it right in there like that. Screw our bottle back on. This is our removable flange that I told you I would explain later. We just changed this last fall, so there was a patent on it that didn't allow us to disconnect this, but that patent has passed, and so therefore, if we want a larger flange, we'd simply replace this with a larger flange. And yes, any of the larger Medela flanges will work just in there. Okay. All right. So we've got our 2 bottles. Set those aside. All right. This is our piston. It'll come assembled like this in an extreme close-up here. This is our strength knob, kind of upside down. Here's our strength. It's on maximum pressure right now. We can adjust this up or down. These 2 ports, where I've got them here, is where the tubing's going to go. If you want a single pump, we have to close one of those off. All right. So just like on your Lactina, you want to find this little tab. Okay. And what I tell people when I'm instructing is point that tab straight up. And then bring this around, and what that does is that locks us into place, okay? Because this little tab is going into the slot down here. And I'm sure to some of you that's news that you didn't even know that was there on the Lactina. But if you go and look at your Lactinas, it's got the same setup. Then we're going to take our piston here. We're going to wiggle it into place. Okay, and that's it. Here's our speed adjustment. A little slower, faster. unwrap our tubing. Like I said, it's just got a little clear rubber band on it. It has two plastic pieces here on the ends, right here. The other end are the cut ends. So we're just going to take our cut end, go right over the top of these posts. And this tubing is a nice flexible tubing. So you don't have to push it on very hard or very far because it grips as you pull it out. And then we take our plastic piece here and we're going to put that right into the back of the flange. Do one, do the other. Just like on your lactinas there's a little port back here. Okay, so mom's ready to pump. We can use our little wings here. And rest our flanges just like that. All right, so very simple. When she finishes her pumping session, she's going to disconnect one side, disconnect the other. So her milk's in here now. So she's going to unscrew this. She'll either use the cap that we've got in our bag, and we're going to cap this off. She'll store the milk, or she'll dump it into a freezer bag or however she's going to freeze it. And then after the milk's out, then she's going to wash these pieces. We've got 4 pieces: the bottle, the flange connector, which is this guy, and then the duckbill valve. Okay, so she'll need to wash this out on both flanges. And they clean however your protocol is now to clean your kit. It would be identical with the Hygeia, so no need to change protocols. All right. So I don't see any text messages or any messages popping through, so I'm assuming that's all pretty straightforward. Let's show you what else is in the bag here. Okay. This is our current instructions for the manual pump and for the pump. But like I said, we're revising these, so hopefully by the time you get them, you'll get the new stuff. So inside, here's all of our extra parts and pieces. All right. We have 2 extra flanges. Sorry about that. 2 extra flanges. We've got 2 extra connectors to go with those flanges. 2 extra bottles to go with those. We've got lids, which is here. Those are for our bottles. So we've got 4 lids. So we got a white piece and the orange piece. So that's all of this stuff right here. Set that aside. Then we're down to our valves. You get the 2 duckbill valves that I showed you, plus you get 2 more for spares. Then you're also going to get, if you order today, we get 2 extra offset valves. Okay, now these are as you can see, are very similar to that of the Medillas. These are really good for moms that have a very copious milk supply. Okay, this valve, by nature of its design, will drop a lot more milk quicker with every cycle. So if the mom is cycling the pump at 70 cycles a minute, and she's got lots of milk coming into the flange, this will help it drop into the bottle quicker and not allow it to kind of back up. Okay, So you got lots of milk coming in here. This duckbill valve will do a very good job, but this valve will do a better job for those moms with a copious milk supply. All right, so we've got a question here about how often to replace the duckbill valves if using the pump daily. Good question, and it really depends on, there's lots of variables here. We don't have any scheduled guidelines for that. These, as you see them and you get your hands on them, you'll notice that they are very durable. They're very thick, silicone. They hold up very, very well. So how often to replace them is really going to depend on how the moms clean it. You're going to get those moms that take the wire brush through here and then they tear it and then they lose suction and the pump's not working right. So you're always going to have those factors that play into it. What we always tell everybody is if your suction drops for whatever reason, you used the pump before and now you're using it and it's just not as strong, this will be the first place that they should look. Got to look for any physical damage. Maybe it just got torn or it's just worn out after several months of pumping. That's basically what you need to do. Okay. Inside here we get 2 extra valve membranes, so lots of extra parts and pieces. And then this piece. So make note, you do not need this piece to work on this pump. Okay. Remember, the kit that I'm showing you, it's a multi-user. This is for a different breast pump that we sell. Okay. So my suggestion to you, depending upon your protocol, if you're opening this kit up, just like I am today, take this out and just tell the moms that she doesn't need it, therefore you're going to take it. So she's not wondering, what this is a week down the line. Okay. If you ever go start using our other pumps, it's nice to have some extras, and you're really doing the mom a favor by, just taking it from her and just keeping it in your desk and have a little storage area. Okay. But see Bonnie on protocols and what to do there. So another question came in about being dishwasher safe. Yes, they are. We recommend in our instructions hot soapy water. We've suggested many things over the years, but what we found is trying to keep it simple and easy is always the best. These are safe, BPA safe, plastic, so they'll withstand the dishwasher, top rack, and boiling. But what happens is, moms put that in there and they're boiling and baby starts crying. They go to tend to baby and then come back and 30 minutes later it's plastic soup. And then they get mad because it didn't hold up in the, boiling process. But so we just try to keep it simple, hot soapy water. Okay. But I really wouldn't change your protocols on cleaning. There's really no need to, but just kind of stress that hot soapy water. Right. This is the last important piece of the personal accessory set that I want to show you. There's 2 of them here. Okay. So I've unscrewed my bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on. So this is a wide mouth bottle. Okay. So any wide mouth nipple out there in the market should work with this. By putting this ring on, we now have a standard bottle adapter. I'm just gonna, for quickness here, just show you that if they're pumping into a little value feed here, a little snappy, has a standard thread. screws right on there. Any of the Medela bottles would work on here, anything with a standard thread. So they don't have to go out and, you know, buy all new bottles to work with their Hygeia products. They can just use the adapters that are included in the personal accessory set. Okay, so I think the question on the dishwasher is, are these dishwasher safe? Everything in here is really dishwasher safe, with the exception of this, which is a filter, which we know we don't need anyway, and our tubing. We don't want to wash our tubing. And then the third piece, important piece, would be we don't want to wash this. There's lubrication in here. There's just no need to wash it. Okay, so just keep all those separate, but any of the parts and pieces that she's using that touch breast milk or her breast on a regular basis could be dishwasher safe. Okay, hopefully that answered the question this time. All right, with that, we need to just kind of talk about troubleshooting and answer any questions. We're a little bit over. We're about 37 minutes in right now. So I don't want to keep anybody too long, but I will open up for questions. I can try to turn the mics on. If there's too much noise, I may have to mute it again and ask you just to type questions. But my suggestion is, as far as cleaning and issuing this pump versus the Lactina, everything should be the same. Same goes here. Let me show you. This is the Medela. Okay, we've got our tab here that goes on there like that. It's a little bit tougher to wiggle it in, but it works. Okay, so if the mom already has this set up, you don't have to give her a new Hygeia one to work on the Hygeia pump. Okay, she'll get really good suction on this. Like in the comments, we have a comment that it's back. So here's the, I want to show you that. You know that all works with this one. Here's ours. Same way, we're going to tab up, rotate it around, lock it into place. Got to plug it in. Just going to have to take my word for it. There we go. All right. So works just like that. Okay. It's very interchangeable. These parts and pieces are also interchangeable with the Medela. So you can take the Medela valves and use them on our pumps. You can mix and match them. You're going to get very similar results as far as effectiveness goes. All right. So let's see. I'm going to unmute everybody. See if you have any questions. All right. And while we're waiting for questions to roll in, I'm going to turn the camera off and then go through the last couple of slides real quickly, and then we'll wrap this up. Here's our Affordable Care Act. Moms Get More. I'm going to let you look on your own at this, because Bonnie can email this out to you. But basically, what we do is, if you send a mom that wants a Hygeia pump, all you got to do is just send her to Hygeia. And we're going to work with her no matter what her insurance is to get her a pump. We've got a network of DME companies out there. We do all the legwork for the moms, and all they have to do is make one phone call to us, and we keep them in the loop on the way. All right. All right. The video jumped from the bottle size to Lactina presentation. Okay. Somebody's kind of giving me a heads up there. Thank you. So here's our customer service information. We've got our 888 number, our toll free. Here's our standard hours of operations, our website, frequently asked questions. We're updating a lot of this educational information, but right now there's videos on YouTube, very abbreviated of what I just did. They're a little bit dated, but they're still serve the purpose. Okay. Okay. There's a question that came up, and it says, will we still have personal electric breast pumps to give out in the office? That's a Bonnie question. I think for now, the main goal is to get you comfortable with the first step of Hygeia and showing you the EnDeare, and hopefully when things go well there that you will look at some of our other pumps, which we have a very nice line of single user pumps. So I would refer you back to Bonnie on that one.
Tom, can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's Bonnie.
Yes. Hi, Bonnie.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just wanted to address that question that Tom is correct in that we're starting with the EnDeare so that you can become comfortable with working with a different company and a pump that's very similar to the Lactina. We still do have our contract with Medela until June of next year, but we probably will be offering the personal pump from Hygeia as well. The date of when that will be available is still to be determined from our end, but we're just kind of rolling things out slowly. So now we have a contract with both Hygeia and Medela until June of next year. And then when the new contract rolls out, then we'll be able to, we don't know at this point what companies those are, but until then, we have both of these companies on the contract. And so, you will still have a personal pump to give out to your participants, either the Medela or when we roll out the Hygeia personal pump, it's called the Enjoy. We'll probably do another one of these demonstrations for that.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Well, good. So it looks like a couple of people logged off. I don't know, Bonnie, if you can see who logged in or not. I think that's just for the presenter.
I can't see, except when they first log on, I see their name, but then it goes away.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So anyway, anybody on the call, if you've got questions, if you think of something after we hang up, here's my email. That's always best. I travel quite a bit, as Bonnie knows. So I'm usually got airport noise in the background if you call me, but certainly email always works. Here's my cell number. Use it. Feel free. I'm in my office this week, so ask any questions. If you don't want to ask it in front of the group, call me up, and I'll be happy to help you. Okay.
One question that I have, Tom, is that because the video cut out for us watching, I don't know whether it's recorded, whether the full amount will be there, or whether it'll kind of cut out again. I think it's probably just in our viewing it, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to just look at the recording and if it's really bad, then I can send you a different one or something like that.
Okay.
Because I do these for other states too, and to get another sample of one is not too difficult. So.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Well, great. Well, with that, I will wrap up unless anybody has any last comments or questions.
Any questions, anyone?
Perfect.
All right. Feel free to contact Tom or myself. And thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Bonnie. I'll send you the recording.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, Tom.